Hello everyone and welcome to Patch Notes for CB25. My name is Drybayer and today we're going to walk through a little bit of what's going into this patch. Obviously, if those of you are just joining us, last week we made some updates to the specialty card system by extending the total specialty card count to 3. And hopefully you guys are enjoying that and get some good feedback. Obviously the newest champion to join the realm was Drogos. And he's been a lot of fun, Dragon Punching his way with one punch. Yeah, one punch. Hope guys you're doing good today. Let's go ahead and hop into the patch. Just a little bit of background here. Obviously, we are the new mode was updated to capture and payload. That is replaced siege. That functions as a capture point that goes into a payload push. It has a point system associated with it. As was mentioned last week in some of the developer commentary, we were reevaluating, how those points worked, the overall game flow, the game length, and how the burn cards worked into it. So you'll see some adjustments this patch that address some of those concerns and hopefully get us closer to a good flow that we all can be pretty comfortable with. We also sent out the community feedback form yesterday, actually 2 days ago, and got some good feedback from you guys on how you feel the champions are playing, and we've made some adjustments in light of that hopefully addresses some of the concerns that you as the community had. So let's go ahead and jump into the first line here. For those of you who are higher level on the account or have the Founders Pack, this won't affect you, but we have increased the free champion count from 5 to 7. The starting champions now include Drogos and Kinessa. We noticed that those two characters were very well liked. A lot of people enjoyed it, but also getting a rocket launcher and a sniper rifle into the starting lineup for the champion list for free characters on a new account really kind of helped spread that out. So we're putting that in there. We're also making an adjustment to the friendly ultimates VO that is played. More that it helps you identify who is actually ultiming. So the new system is going to be the current ultimate voice line cues, like last one standing wins for Barrick, or like Cassie, which is target locked. Those only play for enemies now. The friendlies that are near you or teammates that are on your team, they actually won't play the same VO or won't play any VO at all if you don't really need to know that they're ulting. So stuff like a Grover ultimate or an Androxus ultimate, you don't really need to know that your teammate is queuing that ability up. Really just enemies are going to start dying, and it's not really something that needs to be in your focus. So we're trying to make sure that there is more clarity in what you see and what you hear in the game, so you can focus more on the things that are the highest threat to you at any given time. Now, obviously, team-based ultimates like Cassie's ultimate or Fernando's ultimate specifically, you will hear a friendly-based VO that lets you know that they are protecting you or providing some benefit to you. But the other ultimates that are pure damage, you won't really hear anything, or if you do, it'll be very minimal, and that helps you identify whether or not you're in danger. So if you hear Ruckus say, bring out the big guns with his ultimate, that means you're in danger because it is an enemy Ruckus that's triggering that. So that way you have some cues there. We have also improved the first win of the day bonus. It is now up from 100 gold to 150 gold. And it's also not just the first, but it's also the first, the second, and the third win of the day. So your first 3 wins of the day in capture and payload only, just that mode, you'll get 150 gold for each. So that's 450 gold bonus just for playing 3 capture and payload wins every single day, and that'll reset. And that way you'll have a lot of opportunities to get some gold that keeps you kind of flowing. We have updated the UI in several areas. We've also increased the pre-built template deck count to 3. So that'll encompass all 3 specialties for every character. Ying is also getting a new specialty, so she was the only one that didn't have 3 specialties last patch. So if you have no cards in the game, you don't own anything, you'll still be able to choose those 3 template decks, which will encompass all 3 build paths for each character, and those are all available to you at all times. Moving along here, we have reworked the burn card menu a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. It all has an all tab, and you can kind of tab through the burn cards, which allows you to kind of see them and realize that there's more than just that first page. We got the feedback that some players were getting stuck on that first page, not realizing there's more to see. Radiant chests now guarantee at least 1 epic card. Previously, when you open a Radiant chest, it would guarantee that at least one of the cards you got was rare or higher. That has now been raised to epic. And so that way you're guaranteeing at least an epic card with every chest you open. Obviously, you can buy chests, you can earn chests, you get 20 with the Founders Pack, but also every time you level up your account, you get a free Radiant chest. And that just means that the overall value of that Radiant chest has gone up. And that will obviously push you a little bit closer to getting cosmetics out of them as well. We made a few UI updates like showing your credit value in match, so you can see it at all the time. It's on your kind of base UI, so you know how many credits you have. That's actually probably a good segue into what's happening with the credits. So we are actually adjusting the burn card system a little bit. Every single burn card in the game has been buffed. So actually anywhere from 75 to 100% increased. Record now provides double damage to shields. Develop now provides 600 health instead of 400. But these changes are around the shift in the burn card system. Burn cards are actually now for one life only. So you lose the burn cards when you die, but they're now more powerful. So that gives you that kind of sense of urgency and gives you a little bit more boost and allows you to do more effective things. Rather than having, less effect, but for a longer period of time, you have more effect with more risk involved with that death. Now, obviously, along with that change, we are going to adjust how many credits you get during the match. So we're adding a new feature, which means that if you kill an enemy player, you will get 10% of their total credit value spent on burn cards when they die. So if that player saves up all round or saves up for a couple deaths and buys, 3 burn cards worth 1,000 credits, when you kill them, you'll get the kill bonus plus the kill streak bonus if they're ahead of you in some way, plus 10% of their value in credits. So if someone's really high value and you kill them, you can get anywhere from 100 to 200 credits just for that single kill, though it's really not all that common. So that means that you'll now have burn cards more often. They'll be more powerful. You'll lose them more often, and you'll obviously be working with those credits to see. We are actually we're testing this out just to see how it feels in comparison to the old burn card system. The problem we had with the previous burn card system is with the match being a lot longer, 15 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes. We felt that the burn card system just wasn't, it wasn't engaging enough for that period of time. Now with a 7 to 10 minute match, the burn card system before was fine, but for longer periods, we really want to have more of an ebb and flow that allows you to feel like you can progress, but also have periods where you're a lot stronger. You can get that with the credit system there. Moving along here, we have made some adjustments to spectator. For those of you who watched the qualifiers last weekend, these are, not a full overhaul. We're working on that currently, getting a full UI for the spectator and all that working properly. Obviously, we have the same system in Smite, but we have made some quality of life changes, stuff like showing the status of all players on the screen, showing the outline of all players, showing all players on the mini-map, fixing the mini-map so they show there, and various miscellaneous cleanups that make that present a little bit better. On to capture and payload. We've actually updated the scoring system for capture and payload. It's not drastically different, but this will actually prevent the super long matches where you go 9 rounds total because there's 5 captures on one team, 4 captures on the other team, and they all were failed pushes. And those can end up being really long matches that can end up being a little excruciating. So we've reworked how the points work to make sure that it's a little more interesting, but also prevents those super long games. So here's how it works. There are now 9 points total to win. So we went from 5 to 9. So in order to win, you must get 9 points. Capturing a point, like capturing an objective, is now worth 2 points. Successfully pushing the payload cart is worth 2 points. Successfully defending a payload push is worth 1 point. And so that way, you have to capture, let's say you capture 4 points in a row and then you get 1 push, or you capture 4 points in a row and you get a successful defense, you get 9 points. And there's some interplay there where, if you're behind, you can make a really big comeback by getting 2 points for the capture, 2 points for the push. But obviously, it gives more incentive for the defenders to actually defend the payload push rather than just kind of sitting around. So that way, there's a benefit there for the defending team to be as defensive as they can because they will actually earn a point out of it if they're successfully defense. You lose the point, you get half of that back just by successfully defending the payload cart. Obviously, that's all around just getting the right incentives for both the attacking and defending team during the payload period of the capture and payload phase. Let's see. We'll give you 100 credits for winning a round. This is kind of just to help you get back into those burn cards as those now are lost on death. We're going to see a new Ying skin, which I can show off in just a minute here. It's just more of it's an epic skin for her, so she'll have that available. Let's walk through the champion changes really quickly. See some fixes there, So Buck, His shrapnel cannon ammo count has gone up by 1, so it went from 5 to 6. Buck obviously has been adjusted more towards the warrior side of things. Previously, he was dealing a lot of damage, but he also has high mobility, high sustain, plus lockdown with his ultimate and a root. So he's got a lot of utility there, which is more fitting of a warrior. So we brought his damage down and his distance on the movement a couple patches ago, and we're now just assessing him as he is performing a little bit worse than we're wanting. So his ammo count has increased from 5 to 6, and his damage on each hit has gone from 48 to 50, and he hits 8 times. So that's an increase of 16 damage a second on his damage, and he can shoot an additional time. So that helps him kind of keep that damage out. And we will continue to evaluate Buck to see how he performs over the coming weeks to make sure he's in a good spot. We have... Let's see. This actually wasn't in there previously, which is a little surprising. We fixed this up. Fernando is now crowd control immune during his ultimate. There was issues where Cassie could knock him away when he's popping immortal. He now will be rooted to the ground and... I'm sorry, he will stay on the ground, but he can move around. He'll be CC immune during the ultimate, so that way he can kind of better position himself next to his teammates to make sure they don't die. We have also reduced Grok's lightning staff damage from 41 to 37 per hit. He hits about 10 times a second, so that's about 40 damage a second. Looking at Grok overall, we generally just want to make sure that his builds are differing enough, and we're kind of getting the feedback now that Grok was, dealing a little bit too much damage, and the numbers supported that. He was performing quite well, and the real big thing there is we want to make sure that if he's dealing a lot of damage, he should be playing his damage build and not his healing rain, healing totem build. And just by bringing his base damage down, and then we're going to, in future patches, address his damage build to make sure that there's a good rift there. So if he wants to go healing, he doesn't have a bunch of damage alongside it. We have also added a confirmation sound to oppressor mines for Kinessa. So what this will allow you to do, and it only plays for Kinessa, is you can throw an oppressor mine off to the side, and then when you're looking the other way, you'll hear a beep, a little sound cue in your ear, letting you know that your oppressor mine that you put somewhere else has triggered on an enemy player. That'll allow you to really kind of set up a nice nest of oppressor mines around you when you're sniping, and then when you hear those sounds, you know someone's coming up behind you. You can use that information to your benefit to better prepare to use your transporter in time. We have increased the cooldown on Transporter from 10 to 12 seconds, and this is going along with some adjustments to Kinessa to make sure that she has the right tools available to escape, but isn't more of an in-combat escape. And we're continuing to address Transporter as we go along. We have made Evil Mojo for Pip. That's his ultimate that turns people into chickens. We made that have a minimum duration of 2 seconds, which means that there will never be a case where Pip uses ultimate and someone either doesn't turn into a chicken or they turn to a chicken and immediately pop right out just because of diminishing returns. If someone was stunned a bunch beforehand and you hit him with the chicken, the diminishing return system would basically meant you had almost no time to chicken. You pop in chicken, pop out. And since it's Pip's ultimate, we kind of want it to have its own diminishing return timer. And so now it has a minimum floor of 2 seconds, which means that no matter what, you'll at the very least, get 2 seconds of chicken out of it. That means that it's his ultimate. He should have a little more power for it. Ruckus's emitter. The shield health has been reduced at base from 1,500 to 1,000. We're seeing that Ruckus is dealing a lot of damage, and we're happy with that, but he is a little bit too survivable. He's not dying as much as he probably should for how much damage he's dealing, so we're bringing his base survivability down a bit. So 1,500 down to 1,000 on the base emitter. We've seen a ton of new card arts introduced into the game, so you'll see a lot of the cards in the game now having sporting some new styles, and this includes the burn cards, and I can show this off in just a minute when we finish the notes. But the burn cards now have a very simple, basic kind of vectorized presentation for them, so they're easier to identify during a match, and also more directly represent what they do. So they're very simple and very easy to understand, and we want that for the burn card system because it is an in-match kind of deal. A lot of the burn cards have been updated and buffed in many ways. A couple new cards coming into the game. Androxus got a new card called Buying Time. This means that after using Reversal, you regenerate 3, 4, 5, or 6 ammo. So you can pop Reversal, and it's almost like a reload at 4 points on that card right after you use Reversal, which kind of keeps you back into the fight, or you can dash away and use that. And that really helps with this Reversal build. Drogo's has a new card. It's called Hyper Boost. And this card increases the flight time of Dragon Punch by 15, 30, 45, and 60%. So if you really want to get across the map, or you feel like you just stopped short, you can pick up this card and really kind of work with the build if you're working more on a Dragon Punch, one punch kind of feel. We fixed a heal exploit with Drogoz' card Basque. This prevents an abuse of the heal itself. And then we also changed Decimate, which was Drogoz' Lugi card, which allowed him to knock back. We made sure that it was a flat 4-second cooldown reduction. He was just knocking back too often, and then made the knockback itself scale up to what it is now. New card for Eevee. If she hits a slowed enemy champion with her weapon, she generates 1, 2, 3, or 4 ammo. So that way, if she's running a full slow build or frost build or the offhand frigid field build, she can keep her ammo rolling as she's hitting slowed targets. She also has a new card called Flicker. This card will heal her for 75, 150, 225, 300 after she blinks, and this will work with Wormhole. And this goes along with the specialty card we added back last week, which is her Blink Strike build with Impact. Fernando has a new card called Inspiration. This will heal affected teammates for 50, 100, 150, 200 health each second while Immortal is active. Obviously, there's certain characters that were just kind of stuck at low health and they were immune. And then once the ultimate faded, they would just die anyway. So Fernando really didn't do much but delay their death. And so if you really want to build around a team build for Fernando, you can pick up Inspiration, which will heal up your teammates while Immortal's running, which makes it a little more effective. He also has a new card called Last Stand, which while Shield is active and you're below 50% health, you heal for up to 200 health each second until you reach 50% health. This card existed before. We really liked it, so we wanted to bring it back. This means if your shield's up with Fernando and you're low health, you'll heal back up to 50% and stay at half health, which kind of keeps you rolling and buys that time for you. A nerf to Monolith Totem. This now doesn't have any damage reduction on it. It just increases the health of the totem. This will help with certain Healing Rain builds where the totem was just basically unkillable. Phantom was nerfed as well. So Phantom, which is a duration increase for Ghost Walk, previously added 4 seconds to the additional 3 seconds that was there before. So a very long Ghost Walk, and obviously damage immunity is pretty powerful. So we're bringing Phantom back down to 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2 seconds on the card, which will give you a maximum of 5 seconds total if you put 4 points into it, which is quite a lot. Grover has a new specialty card called Heavenly Agility. Smite fans out there might know what this does. When you activate Nature's Demise, which is Grover's new Q, all allies within a certain range will gain 60% movement speed and 25% increased healing for the duration, which is 5 seconds. Obviously, that's the highest level of the card. It'll scale at 15, 30, 45, 60, but big burst of speed for your team, a little bit of healing increase. So if there's any healing going on, they'll be able to sustain themselves a little bit better, keeps them moving along. Bark Skin is a new card for Grover as well. He will heal for up to 40% of the damage he deals to enemies during Whirlwind. So obviously an ultimate card for Grover. That means that he'll be able to kind of keep his health up as he's running into a fight and using the Whirlwind. With a lot of points into it, he can definitely get that going. New card for Grover as well, Vine Grasp. This card will, if you hit an enemy with Vine directly, it will slow them up to 40% for 2 seconds. So if you're really looking to kind of lock down on target using Nature's Demise and Vine, you can use Vine Grasp the card to lock someone down, get some slow on them, catch up, and hit them down with your axe. Along with this, we've reduced the movement speed bonus on Fatalis from 30 to 15%. This will prevent Grover from getting a little bit too fast. Obviously, with Nature's Demise coming in, he's got a little movement speed increase in there anyway. And also along with this, we've reduced Grover's maximum HP from 3,600 to 3,100. So we like where Grover is now. He had a lot of damage up close, which feels good for a melee character. He can lock down targets pretty easily and catch up to them. We just weren't happy with how tanky he was along the way. So he'll lose a little bit of HP, but he will maintain that high damage, high movement that he has now with a lot of kill potential, which will keep him there. Let's see. Ruckus Projector has been nerfed from 80% down to 60%, and Warden, the card that gives Ruckus's shield more health, has been nerfed from 1,600 at max down to 1,000. And that's just mainly because Projector build on Ruckus was becoming a little bit too necessary for team builds, and it was sharing a little bit too much of that shield there. We still like the idea of Projector and keeping his teammates healthy and applying nanotechnology and healing them up and keeping them alive, but upwards of 2,000-3,000 HP shields was a bit too much, and so we brought that back down. And finally, Ying is getting a new specialty card. This specialty card is already in the game. It's called Spring Bloom, but it's being reworked a little bit to make it a little more useful. So this is more of a utility team-based build for Ying. what will happen is anytime an illusion dies, whether it's shattered or it's killed or it times out, it will drop a health nugget behind that heals for 100, 200, 300, 400. And so obviously with the right cards and getting dimensional link swaps which spawn illusions, you keep illusions rolling, you're spawning illusions and dropping health nuggets for your team and just being very distracting. So it's more of a utility-based build for Ying. She obviously still will have damage in her kit, but with this specific specialty card, you'll be more of a team-based orient, which will keep people alive. So at that point, that's all the changes there. We can go ahead and hop in the client and show off a few things here that are going into the game, and maybe some of the new card arts that are coming in. So we can go on game here. You can see we have a new skin for Ying. This is an epic skin. Just to compare, this is the normal one. You can see that she's got very different bandages going across, black and red theme as well, and she actually has a different dress entirely if you look between the two. So a nice color scheme. I think it looks really good on her. This is an epic skin, so you will be able to get this from chest with the latest update. If we're going to go look through her cards really quickly, we can go to right here, Spring Bloom. When illusions die, they spawn HP drop that heals for 400. So you'll have that there. And I think at this point, it's probably a good point to check out. So you see actually here, here's the first one of the day bonuses. So 150 gold per win for the first 3 wins of the day. So if you win 3 times and capture and payload, this is for capture and payload only. You can see that's there. But let's go ahead and hop into a practice match really quick. And we can see where the burn cards are at. Actually, I don't even know if I have this skin. I don't have any skins on this account. It's a dang shame. So we'll hop in a match and show what the burn cards look like with the new card art. The goal with these new burn card arts is to kind of really show that exactly what that card does, so it's easier to understand, but also be able to identify them a little bit easier when you're looking at the scoreboard or when you see an enemy player with that on their side of the scoreboard. There's a couple new features here that I didn't mention as well, which we'll go into in just a moment. So you'll see these are the burn card here. You actually can't see them too well. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, we got some bots. When this starts, I'll kill a couple people and we can see them a little bit better. But you can see that they're very simple. This is just a kind of time clock. This is an arm with a dagger. They're very basic, very simple, very easy to understand, and then you'll be able to see those there. So I know it's a little bit hard to see it while they're locked out. I'm going to go kill some people. The one thing I should mention as well, we actually added a new system which will help you get more credits during the match, which is if you kill an enemy player while they have burn cards, you'll get a percentage of their burn card value. And also, a player on a streak is worth more. And we have a couple pieces to help this be more recognizable during the match. And also help you know who you're supposed to be killing. So let's run out here. Just make sure I don't go down. If I kill a couple people, get some credits. What we'll do is we'll actually show next to the character's portrait whether or not they have any burn cards and how much the total value is worth based on the color scheme. So obviously it will use the same color scheme as the cards, so green, blue, purple, orange. So if you see someone with an orange crystal next to their name, that means they have a really, really strong burn card count. And if you kill them, you'll get a bunch of credits. You also see next to the player names, you'll see a number. That's actually their current kill streak. So if you see an enemy with a big number like 17 right next to their name and then an orange crystal, they're worth a ton of credits because they're on a 17 kill streak. See now their kill streaks are going up here, 5, 6, 5. I'm on a 5 kill streak, so I have a 5 next to my name. Push this down. You'll see the new score at the top of the screen. We have 0 out of 9 when we capture the point. If we capture the point, there we go. Now we got 2 points for that, so now we're 2 out of 9. We'll push this along. You also do now get credits for pushing the payload cart. Take him down here. Boom. Let's see, what deck do I have? I have the fractured deck. A little bit easier to kill because they're the practice bots. Also, he doesn't realize that I have God mode on. He has no idea. So when we finish this out, you'll see. But as you can see, there's 11, 12, 11 next to their name. They have a strong kill streak. And I'll be able to show you, hopefully on my own name, I guess, once we have this. We can push this all the way in, get that credit bonus. Be ready to go. Come on. There you go, buddy. Ruckus is ruining it. Okay, we're going to push it all the way in here. Kill some bucks. Hopefully. Here we go. Okay, Cassie. Okay, Cassie, you're not going to be a hero today. Yeah, Barrick doesn't even realize. Boom. So we're going to get two credits, or 2 points for finishing this. Boom, there's a 4. So now we're already at 4. So obviously don't be kind of scared away by the 9-point total for the rounds. That obviously will come with a change of the points. So I come here, you can see there, this is the new kind of card art style for the burn cards, which will help distinguish them from the normal cards, but also help them kind of be a little bit more representative of what they do. So obviously this one destroys turrets and pets. This one keeps you alive during big shots. This one gets you on your mount faster. That one gets you some bullets in his hand a little bit faster. This one burns away healing. Obviously, this gives you more health with nuggets. Lifesteal moves you faster on your mount. So these are very representative of what they do. So they're a lot easier to understand. But also, when you see them on the scoreboard, they'll be a little bit easier to pick up on as well. So let's buy a couple of these. Here we go. You can see the values on these are a lot higher. 100% damage against shields, so double damage there. You see, here's the burn cards on the screen, but if I can actually go to 3P, now it's not going to show me. That's a shame. So if you could see my health bar right now, you'd see that there's a crystal next to my name that shows how much total value my burn cards are worth. So you'll be able to hold that down. Also, you see in the bottom right corner of the screen, we've added portraits to the death log or the player log, which actually makes it a lot easier to identify who's dying, who's living, that kind of thing. Pop that in there. And that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them up in chat now. And we'll be able to kind of go over those. Let's see. Nuggets! Just got a few more minutes here. If you guys have any questions for me on next changes, burn cards, in-match stuff, skins. Where's the ranked burn card to activate ranked mode? Still working on ranked mode. We actually are, we're still working on that, I know. Good. New champion. We are working on Bomb King. What are you guys talking about? Yeah, there is a bomb guy coming. And maybe a guy with an assault rifle. Who knows? And a new tank. There actually is a new tank being worked on, too. The Drogo's third-person bug has been addressed. We don't have any more details than that. We are working on a new map. Anything changed for Barrick? We are actually looking at Barrick next week to see what needs to change on him. Not particularly happy with him having 2 different shields. I want to space those out since shields are very powerful in this game. We want to cast the SPL game. We're still scheduling that out. How do you feel about the correction of the card system? It's getting closer. We still want to make sure the in-game feels good. We're actually quite happy with the deck building itself, but make sure the burn cards are in the right spot and make sure that's kind of feeling the way it needs to feel. There are some spectator fixes that are coming along as well. And we are working on a kind of overhaul for that whole spectator system, make sure it has all the features it needs to not only support the people who are running the spectator, but also the people that are watching. We actually are working on a new Kinessa skin, yes. The patch is planned for this week. We're hoping to have it out tomorrow. Can you sell burn cards if you misclick? You cannot. But we can look at that in the future if it becomes an issue. And new cards for Pip. Yes, actually looking to add a lot more cards in the next coming patches to fill in all the gaps for the existing characters. We will be running refunds for Drogos and Kinessa. Obviously, we're making those free now, so anyone who purchased Drogos Kinessa will be running some refunds. No time on when that's going to run. We're hoping to have that refund run this week, have that available, but no information at this time. It's coming. For a question about Kinessa's teleporter, whether she can have an indicator there, it's kind of hard to predict that since it can be very variant, but we are looking at some improvements to make it a little bit easier to understand where Kinessa's teleport is going to go. Barrick skins, we actually are working on some more themed skins, some higher quality legendary skins for the characters. Hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have some stuff to show off for you guys. I doubt we'll have any new mounts in the near term within the next few weeks, but we are working on those as well. Clans, yeah, those kind of social features are in the works. They're a little bit further out, but we're hoping to have those out as soon as we can. And then we're looking at a rework for the custom UI for the custom games as well. All these things are planned, guys. We really want this feature. Obviously, these features all exist in Smite, but since we have other stuff that we're working on right now, higher priority things, as those come along, we'll definitely have these features coming in, including ranked mode, which I personally want as well. A sword character. We could get a sword character in the game. I like swords. Oh, yeah. Ruckus might actually be getting one of the best skins ever. I'll leave it at that. Better than anybody. Laura's being worked on as well, and hopefully we have some stuff to show coming soon. All right, guys, that'll do it for patch CB25. Again, we're hoping to have the notes out later tonight, and then we'll be hoping to have the patch launch tomorrow. But it is planned for this week, so stay tuned for that. We'll have more information on social. Coming up next is coming up soon is the Smite patch notes if you're looking forward to that, but it won't be on this channel, so I don't even know why I'm plugging it. I will see you guys a little bit later. If you're looking for Smite patch notes on Twitch.tv/HighRisTV. But I'll do it.